Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Shop Talk with your two favorite Scout Troopers, Blaster Pro and Disco. What do we got tonight?
Absolutely nothing.
Par for the course.
How you doing?
I'm alive.
Are you healing?
Yes, I'm actually cleared for work on Monday.
Wow. Going back to work?
Yep.
Is it going to be full duty, limited duty?
It is full duty, and I'm thinking, after the financial crisis that this has been, that maybe I'm just going to buy an RV and live like a hobo.
You know, you and I have already had this conversation about, like, living off grid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does sound nice.
Yeah, it does.
It does sound very nice. But I'm still working days, and we are, for the most part, in full con build now, especially since this past weekend. So, hey, Hernan's on.
Hey, Hernan! Great troop, by the way.
Yeah, he was actually showing, just before we went live, he was showing off all the troop pics. I didn't realize you guys had become such good friends.
I like Hernan.
we love Hernan.
I hate most people, but I like Hernan.
Yeah, Hernan's the only person who's never heard the classic Rodney, I hate you.
I hate you all.
I hate you all. Sorry.
And this won't end well. Those are my two taglines.
So anyway. Damn it! Yeah.
It's goddamn.
He actually did that once just before the show right over here. He caught a low pipe over here. So, but anyway, don't have much to go over tonight, except we will, obviously, like we always do, go over the contest for the month. Of course, obviously, with Rodney sitting next to me, no Matt tonight. We miss you, Matt, and we hope you, Matt will be back for the weekend, right? Yes.
We is a pretty strong word.
Okay, I. Should be his last trip to New Jersey. So he should be back for the rest of the month? He should be back just in time for you to leave.
If he doesn't bring me back a Jersey Devil, I'm going to be really upset.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? He is the Jersey Devil. They only have sightings when he's there.
This is true.
Yeah. It's a very big devil.
I like where this is going.
But I don't know. I don't understand why he's running around the Jersey woods in a red onesie with wings on it.
It is Matt. I can see this. Yeah.
So anyway, this is the second week of the new camera. We did some color adjustments, brightened everything up a little bit. So. Tell us if it looks any better to you. Also, the new mics, we're still getting used to them. So tell us how we sound. You don't have to get in the tank anymore.
Yep, I am tank free.
There's no skin on your foot yet, right?
There is
Skin on my foot. I've got a
tiny little hole that.
they're worried about.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Is that where you were sticking the
Yeah, the syringe of hydrogen peroxide.
All right. Yummy.
Painful, guys. Don't do it.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. So anyway, first off, let's go over this month's contest. It'll be on the 31st. I just checked it out. There's 5. This is one of those, if you get paid every other week, this is like one of the months where you end up getting like an extra paycheck. So there's 5 Tuesdays in this month. So, wow, I'm glad we didn't have our 1-year anniversary on this month. We're going to do 10 questions, Family Feud.
You need to move your mic over your jacket. Okay.
I tried to fix that earlier and failed.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you. Sound like, yeah.
Anthony's on.
Anthony.
On.
Jim.
Some new names.
Yeah. So, anyway, with everybody on, we got 11 people, and of course a lot of other people. And surprisingly enough, a lot of people don't watch this live, but by the end of the week, we're getting close to 150 views, which is pretty good. I'm actually stoked about that. But anyway, this month's contest, this 31st, last Tuesday of the month, 10 questions, Family Feud, our second favorite train wreck. Our first train wreck now is obviously Jeopardy.
Yep.
And the grand prize will be the very first pull from the mold of this guy, the Mando bucket, the Mandalorian's helmet. So you will get the very first pull of that helmet, whoever wins this month. So.
And depending on how it goes, maybe one of one.
It's kind of a broke the mold type situation.
Yeah. You worked with me before. You know what happens.
Yeah. That's why you're not helping me make the mold. And also, you got anything up for the meme contest, Joe?
Oh, I've got some things.
We got any new ones?
We got one new one that I saw.
Okay.
We got it right here.
All right.
It's,
So,
we got that guy.
this month's meme contest will also be, the winner will be picked on the 31st also. And the prize for that is one of these Blaster Pro crew patches right here. Velcro patch. We only have 8 of these right now.
Yeah, we got camera 2.
Oh yeah, camera 2. We'll use camera 2 tonight. There you go.
Down.
There you go.
There it is.
There we go.
There it is.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is party.
Look at that purty thumb.
That is, yeah, that's thumb. But they are Velcro.
Yes, they are Velcro backed.
Which means it sticks not only to Velcro stuff, but also cats and dogs and other.
Sticks to your animals. Yeah.
Or a hairy chest.
Yeah. There you go.
Matt, it sticks to Matt.
Matt doesn't need a Velcro. Matt doesn't need it to.
Matt is Velcro.
Yeah. So that'll be that, and those also are cost prohibitive. We're not getting any more of these because they're too expensive, and they came out of his.
It was a short-term sort of thing. We found another supplier that did them decently well for a lower cost.
Yeah. But as of right now, we have no plans to ever get them
Yeah,
anymore.
these are more proof of concept.
Yeah, so these were pretty much for us down here, and then he thought it'd be a good idea to have some to throw around and hand out, which we have. So we're down to 8. 8 is what we have left. After this, we will have 7. If Operation Brett goes live, we will have 6.
Ooh, that reminds me. Do you want to talk about that thing we were talking about? The other project?
Yeah. I was actually going to get to that here in a second.
Okay.
But anyway, so the 31st of this month will be 2 prizes will be awarded. It'll be the Mandalorian bucket, and it will also be one of these crew patches that we wear down here. So that'll be fun. And throw up your memes. We need you need more people to enter the contest for throwing up the memes. You'll find if you scroll down on the Facebook page, you'll see where they're all getting dumped. It's got the original meme, Brett's meme, in there. So
Which is beautiful.
which is that right there? Yeah.
Beautiful meme.
Which I love it. I love everything about that. That's great. That's almost perfect.
It is. We'll go ahead and have them throw theirs in the comment of that.
Yes. So throw those in the comment section on that post. And then there's Jeff's on.
Yep.
After that, we mentioned last week, I think, was that the first time we ever mentioned it on here?
Yes, sir.
We've been toying with the idea of doing a challenge coin, doing a coin run. And we had a lot of good feedback last week. So we thought we'd bring it up this week again and throw it out there for people to weigh in if they'd be willing to. It will be for us, it'll be getting some challenge coins. We might do like a pre-order type situation. If we have enough people that pre-order, we'll go ahead and get them. Yeah, and we're going to use it to raise money for the pit crew. The pit crew, if anybody doesn't know the pit crew is kind of like our little group that builds sets, and we use sets to raise money for charity. So that's kind of what it's going to go towards. The proceeds from this would go towards the petty cash for the pit crew to do upkeep on our stuff and possibly kickstart other builds in the future.
Which would make it less of a pain on our own bank accounts.
Yes, it would. Yeah, 'cause we've all, at this point, we've all
We've
contributed.
all thrown in, yeah.
Find that where?
What's that?
The Ohio Speeder Bike.
Oh, yes. If you want to check out the pit crew, you can go to Facebook. The Ohio Speeder Bike is where we have all our information about that group and all the stuff that we do. We should have a link to it, but we don't because we're never prepared. So, anyway,
Derek says he ordered some coins.
Okay, cool, Derek.
Hey, Jimmy Gears is on.
Jimmy's been hitting there, yeah.
Yeah, if you get a chance, check out Scallywag Nation. He does some really cool stuff with Creekout.
I think the winner will be the most far, far away Blaster Pro fan. Hey, Hernan, how was that earthquake last week? We didn't get a follow-up on everything, if everything was okay.
And did you get more cats?
Yeah. Do earthquakes bring the cats in?
I think so. He has to rescue them all.
So anyway, yeah, actually, you know what? This guy here, every once in a while, he shows up with gifts, and he actually brought me a challenge coin. I thought it was pretty cool. Tell him about this coin.
Well, I found it on Ender Finders when I was looking for my challenge coin because I can't find my challenge coin, the one you gave me way back in the day.
Yeah.
So I figured I needed the challenge coins for when they have challenge coin check, and then I don't end up paying for drinks for everybody at the con this year.
Are each one of these numbered?
No.
Okay.
No, that means something. I'm not sure. Anyway, these are the Baymat Troopers, founded on enderfinder.com. Kind of giving you the Scout Troopers, that 1970s outlaw,
That's a cool coin.
biker sort of thing. They have patches too.
Get a lower jaw.
You can look at the patch one.
Yeah, the patch is on the jacket.
Other side.
Ah! See? They're helpful.
Which is just this front side here. Oh. Which is this side right here. That's the patch. Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I thought it was pretty cool. I appreciate it.
I
is
do
a cool
kind of
coin.
like you from time to time.
Yeah, just a little bit. Rodney, Mike?
No breaking up, Rodney or Mike.
Azim Light.
You might have to take the jacket off.
Or pin it lower. Pin it right there. Right in the middle. There you go.
New technology.
Yeah. So, I don't have time. It is a cool jacket, isn't it? Yeah. I should have worn my jacket, but I'm sweating like crazy. You're like,
I'm always cold.
yeah.
It's like 90 degrees. I'm always cold.
Yeah.
I need to move back to Florida.
So anyway, I don't have time to do anything here when I'm home, but I do have a little bit of spare time at work when I'm messing around and doing stuff, waiting for stuff to dry or whatever. So I've been playing with Wrecker a little bit. So Wrecker is actually making pretty good progress, even when he should not be making any progress, because I don't have time to work on Wrecker, but I have time at work to work on Wrecker. So Wrecker has been getting work done, and he's actually starting to shape up pretty good.
Yeah, it looks much cleaner than my Scout Trooper.
You know how I feel about that Scout Trooper, right?
I know, but it has to do with what I started with, and there'll be something.
Yeah. But Wrecker's not going to be anything, he's not going to be done anytime until somewhere probably in October, maybe. Maybe November. Yeah, after, actually probably all of October will be recovery from September and August. Because I'm already feeling it pretty bad. But yeah, that's oh, it was just something to show. I'd been doing a little bit of work on him and thought it'd be cool. Hey, it's still clamped together. He's still 2 pieces, multicolored. Yeah.
Will it still fit Matt's head?
It will. We test fit it Wednesday night, and it fit great. So yeah, it fits good. Hey, there's Matt Wise.
Anything to cover Matt's danger area, you know?
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah. I got to circle that right there. Take note. Put Bondo there. Yeah, and I already talked about the con build and how we're going nuts with that. So yeah, the shop is complete and total disaster. You can't hardly walk without tripping or knocking something over.
It's build time.
It's build time. So there's crap from one end to the other, and we just kind of cleared this area out so we could work.
To be fair, there's less stuff cluttering about than when the Spider-Man bike was being built.
The Spider-Man bike was, well, the Spider-Man bike was being built with an X-Wing, and it was also, what else did we do? We did something. What did we do for that year?
Oh, God.
We did something else. Maybe we didn't.
No, that year we did 2 wheelchair builds.
Just 2 wheelchair builds, but we still had some rehab work and
Yeah, it was rehab.
Yeah.
work and
Yeah.
other stuff.
I had the speeder bike in here for something. Oh well.
You used it as a mock-up model for the spider bike.
No, I fixed something on the speeder bike. It sat on the stall horses right here. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway.
Hey, Russ.
So, hey, Russ, if anybody has a topic they want to talk about tonight, we're 15 minutes in and we're pretty much out of stuff to talk about. So this is going to be a really short night.
So will it fit this Matt's head? Matt-wise?
I bet you it would. If it fits Matt Wells, it'll probably fit just about anybody. I don't know about Joe. Did Joe try it on?
No, I have not tried that.
Okay.
Pretty much if it fits Matt's head, it'll fit anyone.
Except for Joe. Joe is that gray area where he's just a little bit bigger than Matt. But you can have your.
My thing is my nose sticks out further, but his head is more rounded.
Yeah, but you can wear the Royal Guard with your glasses on, can't you?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. I can put a stereo in mine. And wish I had an AC unit right above my head.
Hey, make them now. You can put it in there.
I was looking at I was going to do a thing on those. I found some really cool fresh air respirators made in China for less than $100. And they look pretty good. They're positive air pressure for paint masks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be perfect to duct work right up underneath your robe and up into the helmet. And it would be all very easy to hide underneath the helmet.
How are we liking the Bad Batch?
Everybody's enjoying the Bad Batch down here, at least.
Yes.
Well, I haven't seen it yet because I'm that guy.
Oh, okay. Enjoyed it very much, or am enjoying it.
Russ says he'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, that's right. He'll be down. Was he coming down right
The week of the con.
the week of the con? Okay. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing you, Russ. Or Ralph, I'm sorry. Or I mean Russ. Ralph.
I'm sorry for that.
Did you ever hear where Steve Dave came from Kevin Smith movies? There was a comic book vendor. They couldn't remember his name, whether it was Steve or Dave. So they ended up just calling him Steve Dave.
You do.
Do you remember Clerks, the animated series?
No. I know of it, but I never watched it.
Totally underrated.
So if anybody has a topic they want to talk about tonight, go ahead and throw it out because we are pretty much don't have anything prepared for tonight except for goofing off with these helmets and that's yeah.
Questions?
Yeah, ask some questions. What are we doing? When we're going to get this done? What's the status on the mold for the Mando helmet? Try to poke us for information what we're building for Expo this year.
A mess. We are building a mess.
We're making a bunch of sawdust. It's exactly what we're doing.
I've ordered the same part twice now because the original part will not work.
Right. Which that was something that should have been ordered a little bit earlier. Yeah, well, not last year, but
Yeah. Well,
you're been under the weather and you have a doctor's note.
I'm a terrible person. Anyway, I think I got it worked out. We'll see.
All right, I hope so.
We'll find out Thursday.
Yeah, because you're going to have to team up with Matt because Matt's running that side of the project. So you have to deal with Matt.
You mean I do what I usually do when I'm wiring stuff? I tell everybody GTFO and
Yeah, but you got to
throw up fingers and yell obscenities?
Yeah, but Matt's doing that part of the build, so.
I mean, Matt's got to deal with him.
Yeah. I figured out my problems with lighting, so I got that all handled. Which you actually helped. A little bit. Ish.
I don't really help.
Yeah, you bought the lights. It was a huge help.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
as we said before, did you ever think that this would become what it has become?
No, I still think the Lazy Susan would have been just as much fun. Camera close up and just stuff going around, and as it goes around, you drop. Hey, there's Dan. Happy anniversary, Dan.
Hey, Dan, happy anniversary.
And as you drop new stuff as it goes by the camera. You know how they used to do like on public access after hours? It just had it has like the clock.
Actually, I was...
It had the date and the date and all that on there, and it would just go around real slow, and it had messages and stuff.
I was in San Diego at a sushi bar, and they had like this little conveyor belt that went around.
Uh-huh.
and they put the stuff there, and you pull the stuff off. It was kind of cool.
Okay,
It was super futuristic for 1950.
Yeah. There you go.
Why are you drawing eyeballs?
No, I'm drawing circles around spots I need to take care of. And this is an area right here that needs to be taken care of.
Well, I see a little chip right there.
Yeah. And this area right down here needs taken care of.
I want to bring this up. I just noticed something too on my build.
That's too close. That's too close.
No, that's good. Good. Get focused.
Oh no.
Fuck us.
There we go. There we go.
So I noticed something on my build. I don't know if you've noticed
I got a
this.
spot right here I gotta fix. Got a spot right here I gotta fix. Right along there I gotta fix. There's actually, so you can feel it, a little whoop-de-doo right there.
So nobody told me that filler doesn't really dry.
I can already tell what you did. You didn't put enough hardener in it.
No. This is the spray filler because I got lazy.
Now, what about that spot right
You know, the primer
Which
filler.
one?
there? The one
That?
above the little dot?
That's.
Yes.
That is actually going to be fixed when I seam this line up.
Okay.
This line, once it's all done, this work's done, this line will be seamed up and there won't be a seam there, and that will get fixed then.
Okay.
And then, let me see, we'll bring them around. I got a seam right here that keeps popping up. I got to do work to that. A lot of sanding. Still a lot of sanding. Oh, spot right there. And that seam right there you can still see in the primer. If you turn it just right, see it? There you go.
Yeah, it's up on the bridge of the nose, too.
Yep, goes all the way up. So I got to fix that. The runs are nice because that's extra material that I get to sand out and shape the way I want it. And you can see right along here, you can still see a little bit of, in this area, you can still see layer lines from the 3D print, and all through here you can see layer lines. There's a lot of primer there.
Well, that's where I ran into the problem with the primer filler. It doesn't really dry. And I turned the helmet upside down.
What are you using?
Just the regular automotive filler primer.
Yeah, it does dry, but if you use a lot of it, it takes a month to dry.
Well, yeah. It leaves imprints that need to be buffed out and then redone.
Chris has a question. What's the best glue for cementing wood to PLA? Ooh, wow.
Would that be an epoxy? Or?
I don't know. I've never tried to put the two together, but I would say some sort of epoxy would probably work best. Super glue wouldn't work.
No.
What about the two-part epoxy from real glue that we use?
That might work. The two-part epoxy we use.
In the syringe?
Yep, that might work.
I don't have any here to show.
Yeah. I've never tried to glue wood to PLA. I've glued everything else to wood. Even aluminum. But we used, what do we use to do that? We used epoxy to glue aluminum to wood. There is this stuff stays rubbery, but there's a glue that Loctite makes that's similar to liquid nail. And I hear that stuff is amazing for wood, gluing wood to just about anything. They use it in construction to put the trim around walls and stuff. But you can also glue wood, like wood fairings and stuff, you know, for...
Kind of like barge cement, but better?
It's, I wish I remember what it's called. It's got like a number on it. It's like Z3 or, I don't know what it is. Some crazy stuff, but it comes just like liquid nail does. And it's probably in the hardware store where the liquid nail would be, like over by the paint section. I think the liquid nail is usually over by, the paint is usually near, the glues are usually near the paint area in most Lowe's and Home Depots.
Since we're talking about glue, I have a PSA that I want to give to all of our R2 builders who are helping.
We have R2 builders helping?
Well, this is my pain for the past 2 weeks.
R2 builders.
Yeah.
Oh, the lightsaber.
All right, guys, do not use super glue, acrylic
No,
glue.
that's the super glue version. This is like, comes in like a big caulking tube like Liquid Nails does.
Do not use acrylic type super glue on electronics. 1, the fumes are not good for your traceways. 2, when I have to go back and resolder something because you use the incorrect wire, it burns my eyeballs when we've used that to try to fix it.
5.5, Rodney goes after droid builders. Section A, don't use that glue. Oh, let me see here.
Just don't do it. Just call me, I'll help.
Careful,
I
turn too much, the picture will turn.
I think this might be it. But they,
You're gonna show that on camera too?
I don't know if this is a seal. Power grab.
Well, what color is it? What does it taste like?
It's clear. All right, I think this might be it, but I'm not 100% sure. Go ahead and go to camera 2.
If that's a clear stuff, I think it's a silicone based.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Is it focused? I took my glasses off so I can't see.
It's focused now.
Focus.
There we go. This might be it. Insta grab. It says it grabs in 1 second. What does that say? All purpose?
Lock, tight, power grab, ultimate,
Interior, exterior construction adhesive. I think this might be it. But the one I've used is gray. It's not clear. It's like a grayish green. But this might be it.
but if you find that, you might be in the right
Yeah,
section.
and they make big tubes of this stuff too. They make
That's
yeah.
caulk gun tube size.
Yeah, they make them for the large caulk guns too, like the ones that are like double the regular standard size. They're,
Deep there.
yeah. Well, they're like double the size. They're not that big. This stuff here, it stays flexible, but it holds really good. I don't know how it would do in like what your application is, but I do know that for doing larger, like gluing pieces of board. Actually, I know people that also have glued foam, 1-inch and 2-inch foam panels up. Look above your head. Boing, 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 boing. There used to be a recording studio in this space.
You realize nobody can see this?
I know, but I was looking at you for you to see it.
Ooh, yeah, it's great.
It's awesome.
I only describe it to the people.
There you go,
Their stuff.
Thank you, Joe. But anyway, that stuff works pretty good. I know it does work with glue, wood, and it works with metal and other types, and I imagine it'll work plastics too. But if it's like a costume thing, I would probably just still go with the 2-part epoxy because you have more control over it, and it's a catalyzed.
You mean don't use E6000 on
Meaning
that?
it has. Somebody the other day was talking to me. They built their blaster kit with E6000. I said, "Well, that's kind of cool. Let me know how that works because I've never built a blaster with E6000."
Well, it was good for my armor because I had to pull stuff apart and put back together. So
See, you don't even like it when work calls you, Rodney.
this is true. However, if they call me the droid builders, that means I
Are you
don't have
done?
to go back and fix it.
Because we got section A. You're talking about their gluing habits and how it hurts your nose
Eyes,
and eyes.
yeah. And I know it's hurting the electronics, and the electronics are expensive.
And boo for the. Okay.
I'm a terrible person, but I know what I'm talking
To
about.
be honest, he's been cussing up a storm for it's been longer than 2 weeks, I'm sorry. I think it's been close to 3 weeks. During workshops, which are Wednesday nights, we all get together and work on projects together, but pretty much now we're kind of, the workshop's jammed up. Will be this week when everybody gets here. They're going to realize that it's a total mess. And it's going to be hard to get anything done, so I think we're going to do Expo busy work.
Well, it's been all Expo stuff one way or another.
Dude, I have like 200, maybe 300 Greeblies that need to be separated into that bin over there for my mass assembly.
For your project,
for
that we're
my
not
project.
the super secret project.
Yes, lots of Greeblies.
And hopefully the other parts of that super secret project will be here on Thursday, and they work this time.
Yep. So that actually, we're going to build that. I need to talk to Matt before the weekend. Well, no, I can talk to Matt on the weekend. He'll be here, won't he, Joe? Mm-hmm. Good. All right. We stretched it to a half hour. Anybody else have anything they need to talk about, want to talk about? Ask questions or complain?
I know we got some programmers out there. How would you guys like to make a video game based on Matt and Chuck?
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, train wrecks are beautiful.
A video game based on us, huh?
Yeah. The Unreal Engine, that's free unless you make $1 million. And let's face it, video
How
game
much
on
do
Matt
they
and
get
Chuck
if you make $1
is
million?
10%.
So well, that ain't bad.
No.
So, but they get 10% beyond, like if you make
Yeah.
$2 million, they get 10%,
Yeah.
$2 million. Or how long does that arrangement last? Is there like?
I think it's pretty much for the rest of your life. Mailbox money. It's a thing.
Mailbox money. I think I would have brought it down to 100,000 now.
I don't know. Matt and Chuck the game. There'd be like 4 people who played it.
Yeah, it's 4
complain.
people. That's it. 2 people. 3 people downloaded it, but we already know 2 people.
Did you experiment with electroplating yet?
No, not since the last time we messed with it. It is something we are planning to get back to eventually. We went for this helmet, which was part of the trying to figure out getting a paint job or plating or whatever on the Mandalorian's helmet. The route I decided to take on that is cold cast aluminum, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to cast it in aluminum and polish it up. That's how we're going to get the look. But I still want to do some electroplating. I just don't know what project it'll be.
Who did I have to talk out of Rub and Buff?
Oh, who'd you have to talk out of Rub and Buff?
I forget. Somebody had, I think it was Dave in his Gundam models.
It could have been, but the electro. See, like this right here would be cool if you had a good model of this lightsaber. Electroplating this in like nickel or whatever would be. That's something I'd like to do.
Now, we understand the concept. First, you have to put down a metal layer of some sort of spray
Yes.
metal layer in order for
Yes.
it to attach to it.
And that's when we spoke about how I thought for sure that weld-through primer, which is a copper-based primer,
Yeah.
was going to do the job.
It looked good on paper. It should have worked.
It looked really good. I don't know if I have to maybe spray a layer on and then sand it down, like with super fine grit, and then spray another layer down and do that 2 or 3 times to get a good bed to
That might be.
transfer. But nickel was what I was trying to go from copper to nickel, and we weren't sure if the equipment was working, so we actually grabbed a piece of copper tubing I have over here, cleaned up a section, and then we electroplated it, and it did work. So it wasn't the equipment, it was what we were trying to put it on.
That, and we found out the electroplating chemicals are expensive and don't last as long as we'd hope.
Yeah, so pretty much everything we have, the solution and everything we have, it's been sitting over there for a long time now. And it's probably no good anymore. Although I don't understand how that really could go bad, because it's...
Well, I think it's the difference between a solution and a suspension. So in theory, if we shake it up, maybe...
Maybe. Well, anyway, I'd like to actually do suspension anyway. That's probably the best way to do it instead of doing it the way I was doing
I mean, think about it. Your chrome is not in liquid form, right?
No, it pulls it out of the solution that it's in.
Yeah, so... Yeah, that'd probably be it. So it's probably settling out.
Possibly.
I don't know.
We can test it eventually. 'Cause
Any chemistry nerds out there?
when we get back to it, which I would like to do it again, like I said, like on something like this would be really cool. Because it would get you the finish you want, and it would look a lot more real. I mean, the paint job I put on it is okay, but it's not very durable. And as you can see,
Yep.
you can see it. It's getting chewed up because of the stand we put it in. But yeah, it might what I do. Next time I try it, it'll be on a lightsaber. Yeah, I even had a buddy of mine that did. That was his business, was doing car emblems. He would go to dealerships and say, "Hey, you want to put a gold package on this?" And he'd charge them. And he'd go out and he would electroplate all the emblems on a car gold instead of chrome. And then me, just literally last week, I had a BMW I was working on, and it had gold emblems on it. And I went up to the office and said, "Hey, the emblems came in chrome; they're not gold." And it's like, "Oh shoot!" It's one of those they did at the dealership deals. It's like, what are we gonna do? We're putting a chrome one on it. That's what we're doing. Because we're not going to call one of those guys out to electroplate one of those emblems. Insurance won't pay for it, so take I don't know what you do. You go find the guy yourself and have it done.
That'd be it.
But yeah, it just happened just last week. And I was thinking, I bet you that was Jay that did that. Yeah, that was funny though. But yeah, we'll get back to electroplating. If we actually make some progress on it, maybe we'll do depending on the blaster, Johnny. I like to use super glue. Most of my kits are put together with super glue. But I have a process, and I think we'll go over the process. You know, I always scuff all my surfaces before I ever glue them. And in certain areas where I want a really, really good bond, both surfaces get 320 sanded with 320 sandpaper to give it a really good tooth. And to be honest, I've had pieces that I wanted to remove that I glued on, and I took a chisel, literally, to try to knock this one piece off of one of my DL44s, and it took a hunk out of the DL44. It just ripped the whole section of it out, and I was like, well, that sucker was glued pretty good. I actually now sand off a part I don't want and then replace it. E6000 is really good for putting armor pieces together, stuff that needs to flex and move. That's what I built my Stormtrooper with 8 years ago, and I've never had any issues with it. It's never come apart, never tried to come apart. But E6000 has its jobs. And blasters, E6000 is kind of like, it's a rubber cement. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit thinner, a lot thinner than barge cement. I think
you can actually get in a spray bottle. I have some in a spray bottle.
I wouldn't trust a spray bottle.
It's not as useful as you would think, guys.
I wouldn't trust a spray bottle of it. But anyway, it has its jobs. You know what? It's great for gluing the soles, like rubber tennis shoes, or gluing the rubber sole back on a pair of tennis shoes and stuff. It works really good for that. It works better than shoe glue to glue shoes back together. But
Scout Trooper boots.
Scout Trooper boots. Actually, my Scout Trooper boots are E6000. The vinyl on them is glued on with E6000, and that's been together for 7-8 years also, and no issues with that either. So yeah, E6000 has its purpose, but I don't think it's really good for blasters. I can only think of one place that it kind of would work on a blaster, and that was T-rails on a fully drilled E11. That's all I can think of it.
Or maybe my Scout Trooper holster. We could glue it into the Scout Trooper holster.
Glue the blaster in the holster?
Yeah, so it doesn't fall out.
I thought you were going to do magnets.
Well, I was going to do magnets, but I've gotten sidetracked by tubes.
Mine fits tight and tight against my ankle, so when I pop it in there, it unless I'm running or walking really fast, it stays. I don't have an issue with mine. Unless I'm not running or walking fast, which I just learned not to walk fast in it. Because that's why it's a one-piece blaster, because I got tired of gluing my scope back on every time it fell out of my holster.
For those who don't know, that holster is just terribly designed for practical use.
Yeah. So, I say we do a recap and let everybody go to bed.
Wait.
Oh, you got something else?
Yeah, I got to bring
right.
this up. When Val watches, or you know,
Okay.
maybe Jeff, you guys should work together and make Elmer's Glue flavored for Johnny.
You know what? I saw Val was on the hunt for a pressure pot.
Yes.
And that can only mean one thing.
Yes, it does.
She's painting school buses, or she's making props. Anything else? Any other possibilities?
No, I'm one.
We really are going to have to mic you. You have control. You got a button you can turn it off and on.
I'll forget.
No, but if anybody's out there that has an old pressure pot, a paint pressure pot, get a hold of Val. She's looking for one. I have one that is the. Well,
I don't think they can see it.
They can see it right
yeah,
there.
they can see it. Okay.
Do you know if you know what that is, and if you can see it right there, That is a 10-gallon pressure pot, and that thing, it's worth its weight in gold. And anybody who's looking and really needs one, who's in the prop business or prop making or whatever, they know how valuable that thing is and how hard it is to find. I don't even know, unless it's industrial, they don't make these very often anymore, because the paint process that was used to make, that those were used for, doesn't exist. That one used to paint airplanes. That's where that one came from. It painted airplanes.
The other option is long pours. Oh, God. You're standing on the step ladder, pouring out your material.
No. A long pour, actually, for me, a long pour is something that takes a long time to pour. Like a really small hole, and it's like bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh, no.
Bloop, 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 bloop,
This
bloop.
is what we had to do with the Larry project.
Well, you did a long pour because you were trying to break the air bubbles, as the silicone is. You can only do it with silicone. It doesn't really work with resin. But yeah, you do a very long pour and it stretches and pops the air bubbles. I throw it in the pressure pot and let it sit for a few minutes, because I don't use any fast silicone, because silicone is expensive. It's kind of tricky to work with, and I like to have time to take my time. The only thing I have that's fast is the Rebound 25 I use for making helmet molds.
I could use one resin wood.
I was trying to.
He's trying to find one of those pots.
Oh, is he?
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. I actually have 3. I have a 10-gallon, I have a 3-gallon fat, and I have a 3-gallon skinny. So I kind of got most of my bases are covered. My biggest mold just barely fits in a 10-gallon.
What about the proper way to mix 2-part materials? You know, the proper way, the opposite of what I do?
Well, there's 2 ways. You can do by weight and do by volume, which by weight is the most accurate, but most materials don't require you to mix by weight to get a perfect mix. Most of them have a little leeway one way or the other. And if you learn, like some of your resins, you can actually play with the amount of catalyst you put in it, and you actually get a totally different result, such as sometimes this happens.
The bendy blaster.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a stunt blaster.
That's a whole different process.
You can pull the trigger on it, but you can also pull the trigger guard. But look at it. See, it's all the way down. Boom.
I want to hit
Back
Matt
into
with
shape.
that. I just want to hit Matt with it once.
That's so cool, though. How easy, how great it just bounces back into shape.
Reminds me of the old Rubbermaid commercials.
Yeah.
The Rubbermaid trash can commercials.
The ones you can run over and hit with your, yeah.
Wait, who is it who makes the blasters that are like that and troopable?
I don't know. There was some foam.
Yeah.
That was, back in the day, it was Hyperfirm, but I'm not sure who's doing them now. I was going to get into doing those, but I don't like single cast E11s and single cast EL. I like the 3-dimensional, see through it, super accurate blasters. And I decided that's where I was going to stay, and I wasn't.
I remember years ago looking into that, and they were just as expensive.
They are still, and they're still very expensive, but the material and the process is a pain in the butt, and the molds are very, very expensive. What?
You have to get your hair back out of your face here?
Dude, I'm just.
All
yeah.
2 pieces?
Yeah. Dude, I'm running the sweat down the back of my neck.
Hey, you can't blame me this time.
I
I'm not
know.
sitting beside
I'm actually so glad you're not sitting next to me. I was
I'm
thinking
wearing a
about
jacket.
that.
It's cold.
Hey, my blood pressure has went down, so I don't want to.
Sitting next to the human elephant foot.
Not so much anymore.
But yeah,
Not unlivable right
I don't even know how we got to that. Oh, yeah. But anyway, if anybody has one, my other pressure pots, they came out of a closed down Mako. So here's a trick. Here's a little thought. Hit up your local Makos, because they're not using pressure pots like they used to in the old days. They might just be laying in the back room if they haven't already thrown them away. You might be able to get them dirt cheap or free like I did. They've switched to HVLP gravity guns. They don't use the pot guns anymore. They have more than 6 paint colors now, so they don't just stick a hose down in a 55-gallon bucket.
Yeah, my buddy.
And siphon it into a pressure pot and then pressurize it. And you paint like, how many? We got 6 red cars. All right, move them all over and we'll paint them one by one. Red.
My buddy JJ had an 87 Chevy Celebrity where the paint was peeling off.
Yeah.
And he got it done there. Oh, it was beautiful.
Now, you can get, if you wanted to get a good-looking Mako paint job, first thing you do is you completely disassemble your own car. This is the number one trick. We weren't on the rails. There were no rails.
There was no plan.
Joe,
This is the plan.
Our rails ended at Wrecker 20 minutes ago. That was the end of the tracks. We're going to back up and go through review 1 and 2.
You want me to go on my Skyrim Fiesta?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh,
10
you know
years?
what? We didn't even talk about this. Let's go back to, what were we talking? Okay. Jeez, oh, Pete. We're down to 5 people. This is the best time to talk about the coin. Because we never finished talking about the coin. I don't know how we got sidetracked. That's when we went off the rails. You should have brought us back, Joe. Pull up the Speeder Bike Pit Crew logo.
Hey,
Sir.
that gives me an idea too. I'll talk about it in a minute.
So this would be
One side.
one side of the logo, one side of the coin. I'm sorry. The other side of the coin would be the that logo, the Speeder Bike or the Blaster Pro logo. And we're probably gonna do the colors that we did on the Speeder Bike Pit Crew. We're gonna try to keep those the same. So go with the green and all that, and the gold. That's what we're thinking about doing. And Blaster Pro logo, we don't know. It'll probably be like red or something.
The colors of the wind.
The wind.
Paint with all the colors of the wind.
What color's the wind?
Well, we're a Disney product now, right?
No, I'm not a Disney
No,
product.
don't even talk about that.
So, yes, Hernan. So we put Hernan down for 1. No, we're just trying to drum up. This is going to be a project. The coin deal, well, we're going to do this after the expo and everything. So this is something we'll probably, honestly, if there's enough interest, we're going to start seriously working on in October and November, and maybe it'll be something we'll have available at the end of the year or at the beginning of next year. But it's something I have always wanted. I wanted my own coin for a long time.
We've been talking about that for
We've actually been talking about
ever.
the coin because we were going to do a coin in our very first fundraiser before the Cell Block fundraiser. We were going to try to raise money to build our original project that the speeder bike took its place. But one of the things was we were going to have coins as one of the levels for participating. And we only had 3 months to build this bike, and we're trying to do a fundraiser in 3 months and then build this colossal project. Never going to happen.
Everyone should ask Matt about the picture of him with the mock-up of the speeder bike.
That is, I have that picture permanently saved in multiple locations.
I know, but he won't let us put it up. So
He'll let me put it up. He doesn't like it when it comes up, but it does come up. We haven't had it on here yet, though.
No,
We're gonna lay. You know the picture, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
We're saving that picture for a special occasion, maybe his birthday or Matt's back, or maybe anytime he's not here.
we can make
Teach
like
him a
a
lesson.
cutout of it and put it behind us. Oh, we got the green screen.
I was actually going to think about doing the green screen since we're upgraded the camera. And I didn't see any feedback, so I hope we look a lot better this week. We brightened it up a little bit. But anyway, I was thinking about using the green screen soon. We've been talking about using the green screen and a lot of the other, because we can do we can do subtitles. We can do anything we want. Like I said, the equipment, the box we have right now, we're only using about 1% of its capabilities. and that's it.
And I've noticed that the way things work with us in technology is we talk about it, then
And we
we
never do it.
get it, then 6 months to a year later we start moving in the direction of how long have we had the green screen?
We'll do that. We're going to do that. What we'll probably do is we may not talk about it much anymore until after Expo. So that's late. That's the second half of September, right? I don't even know what the date of Expo is.
17th, 18th, and 19th of September.
17. Okay, so.
At the Duke Center down in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay, yeah, at the Duke Center, Cincinnati, Ohio. But anyway,
Val just cashed in chips.
going out in a glaze of glory. So, the coin thing is going to be after Expo, so that's something we'll probably start looking to seriously
Late September.
in probably not even late September. I'm going to sleep for a month. Dude, I'm going out of town. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm going to disappear for a solid week.
Can we have like a montage of Chuck's downfall all the way through?
Of the Expo?
Yeah, you start looking ragged and everything, but we don't notice because, you know, it's...
Everybody else is looking
Yeah.
as bad as me. I'm going to have to be rolled in. The last thing we bring into the Expo this year will be me on the dolly. But anyway.
I used to do that for a while, man.
The
Nick's ready for coin. You guys PayPal there.
Cool. Yeah. That will be something coming on later in the year. If we can get it all ironed out and figure some stuff out and there's enough interest, we'll try to maybe get it done before Christmas. Maybe like a Christmas thing.
Of 2024.
That's what I was saying. We get back to it in late September talking about it.
Yeah. We'll be talking about how much we hate each other and we don't want to see each other for at least 2 weeks.
Oh, you guys are.
Oh, no. You know what? We're terrible because we're like, and we're right. As soon as we're done, we're high from the con being done, and we're coming up with stupid ideas about what we
Sleep
want to do
deprivation
next
does
year.
that.
That's how the cave was. The cave happened. I was sitting on the ground, resting, at 10 o'clock at night, and in the glow of my taillight, there's a magazine, and it was upside down, and it was Luke hanging in a wampa cave, but he was standing up, and the wampa was upside down, and I was like, "That's what we should do."
And then the next year, I made the mistake of showing
And then
up.
that time next year, I'm picking spray foam out of my
Or
arm. Yeah.
We'll fix it in post.
Fix and
you're not
post.
yelling at you, Rodney.
I'm a terrible person, Hernan.
So anyway, yeah. So the coins is something we'll get back to. Remind us after September. Somebody out there remind us. Hey, what happened to that coin idea? If I ask a question, will it throw you into a new tangent? Yes, possibly, which is perfectly fine because we had nothing to talk about tonight anyway. So ask away, Matt.
20 seconds.
So anyway, I've got, there you go. See, I'm too much. I try to keep everything so organized, and every once in a while, I might want to go back and look at some of these. You know,
Yeah, but that's not English.
it is. It's my English. I can
I was
read it.
curious if you had plans to make a DC-15A.
That's come up before, hasn't it?
I don't know if it has or not. Yes, actually, I was planning to make all the DC-15s because I am working on Echo, and I wanted to have all the blasters available to me for Echo, and that was the process that actually.
You're almost ready for a mold on the one DC.
Yeah, the pistols. I am pretty much. They're pretty much done. Yeah.
Material's at a shortage right now.
Yeah. Our biggest problem right now is materials. Like I said, I beg, borrow, and steal and everything for materials. But I was working on when I was designing, because I have a layout for a couple of the DC-15s. The pistols, like I said, are done. The rifle and the short, I was going to have them PVC cored so they would be light. And I was coming up with a process of casting with a PVC core. Actually, not on that blaster. That process I was going to experiment with, because I've never seen anybody do it. And I think it's a great way to lighten a blaster.
I've seen something like that with
Well,
some of the Mando stuff.
The foam blasters, like the old Hyperfirms, they actually had like a PVC plastic core in them, but that was laid in, and then they sandwiched the two molds together, and it kind of that's how you do the rubber stuff. Just like that.
They cut off your seam line.
Yeah, it's a technical sound. That's exactly how it goes. Because you have one, and they start to expand just a little bit, and then they flutter out, but they're still wet. Then you drop the core in, and put it together, and then spooge it, clamp it down, and then it pushes them all out. But yes, those clone, just about all the, except for the Commandos. Well, maybe Matt and I were working on the Commando stuff at one time. That was a long time ago. But anyway, yes, they are possibly coming in the future. I have to finish all versions of the E11 before I get to that, and I have to get the what is the MG15, the RC97 or the C97. I can't remember what it's called.
I'm working on phase 1 trooper. Do you have a time frame and estimate the cost? That may be jumping the gun, so to speak.
Time frame, not sure. Most of the blasters I want to get done prior to that are in process already. All the E11 kits, the Return of the Jedi E11, the E10 from Rogue One, not Rogue One, Solo, and what's the other? The E11D, I think it's the E11D, the Death Trooper. E11. That one is also. Those are the ones I want to get done and added to my my Etsy or added to the inventory we have down here. And then it's on the clone blasters. Hopefully by then I will be back on. Matter of fact, you'll know when it's getting close because I will start working on Echo again. And as soon as you see something of Echo, you're like, oh wow, it's I bet you he's working on blasters too. Which
Time that you worked on Echo.
I moved his head about 2 hours ago. I was
Okay, that's
tired
fair.
of him looking straight at me.
That's fair. It is kind of creepy. Actually, my daughter say that about my kit on the
He's
mannequin.
looking at Akbar now.
It's creepy.
But anyway, they are coming in the future. I have several other people that are kind of like, hey, dude, I want these. I want you to make them because I like the way your blasters are. So I do have people besides you wanting them. So,
Maybe around January. Maybe.
yeah, it's going to be definitely a winter project. So, yeah. Right now, it's hard for me to even think about stuff because.
Now, if this was my project, the date that you would get, add 3 months to.
Or second Tuesday next month.
Yeah.
Right now, me filling in at a friend's shop, it's kind of really messed me up a lot. Slowed me down on just about everything. So, and then add this year's material shortages, and then the huge Rodney, thanks for going to Texas and bringing a horrible storm
Hey,
to it.
Because of my foot, I missed 2 trips to Texas.
Did you hear what happened when I was talking about that? Didn't you?
No what?
How I said Mother Nature tried to kill you in Texas, and then when that didn't work, it went after your foot.
I have.
It got a great laugh down here.
Well, I have, probably pissed off a god or two at some point. So.
Well, thank you. You know what? I'm actually looking forward to building them. I actually like them a lot, and I'm going to try to make them as light as possible, but still be fairly rigid. And the PVC idea, having a PVC core inside of them, is something I really want to try to do. So I'm going to experiment with it on another gun, on another blaster project, and then that would be the next one that I would probably use that on. And it's kind of good that would be the second time I tried to use that process because I already got practice at doing it on another one. Huh?
The art trooper blasters that you were building,
Yeah.
I already got a couple of those sold for you too.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, would you build stuff so we can sell it?
I know.
I'm selling it without you even
You would
having
think
to
I would just quit my job and do this full time. Oh wait, that's what I did 2 years ago. And then as soon as I was like, hey, Chuck's got free time. Hey, can you do this for me? Well, what? How long is it? I said, about 3 or 4 days a week. For how long? How about a year? As soon as I get done with that, I get called again because this actually started. My
3 months ago? 4 months ago?
Yeah, you know what? And I don't know about woodchucks. I've seen some really cool stuff from woodchuck. I just don't know weight or anything like that. Woodchuck does make nice stuff.
With the little squirrel things?
No, you see woodchuck's blasters. I didn't even know. I haven't heard.
Oh.
I haven't heard about woodchuck in a long time. I used to see him on Facebook all the time, but I haven't seen him for years. I wasn't even sure if he was still doing them. But he was doing a lot of stuff back in the day. Yeah. You know what? It's 9 o'clock. I think we ought to wrap up. Thank you everybody for coming out. Remember the 31st will be Family Feud, 10 questions Family Feud. This guy right here, the Mando Bucket, will be the prize this month. Also, send in your memes, post your memes up for the patch, to win the patch.
Extra points if they make fun of Matt.
No, we're trying to stick it to
Matt?
BlasterPro.
the trivia night, BlasterPro trivia night. Don't start throwing mud in the water. It's bad enough I got to keep corralling Matt.
All right, that's
And then
fair.
Joe has to corral all of us.
It's like herding cats.
Herding cats. Oh, okay. I didn't know you were on tonight, Bill. Cool. So anyway, the 2 contests, Mando Bucket, prize for Family Feud, 10 questions. Everybody's second favorite train wreck next to Jeopardy. Patch contests, throw in your memes, win the patch. 1 of 8. We only got 8 left, so you win one of the 8 we have left. And and on top of that, Joe, I think you ought to send us out. Are you ready to go? Oh, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.